It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stock, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit him online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Setuha Karate. Located at 28 Colt Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
This week's episode of the Sports Lords is brought to you by Mel Kiper's Mashed Potato Pizza Pit, located in downtown Baltimore, Maryland. It's mashed potatoes. It's pizza. It's delicious. And now it's time for the Sports Lords.
Oh, yeah. Woo!
That was a hot one.
That was a hot one. And the ones and twos over here got all mixed up for me. So sorry about that, fellas.
I didn't even notice.
Diego.
DJ Diego.
Yeah, no, I cut that off a little bit early, but man, DJ Diego. But we got, more importantly, professional Kev over here.
Yeah. Suit Kev.
You know, I want to keep you guys and our viewers on their toes every week. I want to keep it professional, but always keep it fresh.
Oh, yes.
So the life on the range, done with that?
Not done with it. Just it's just another side of me. Life on the range. You know, we'll be back on the range soon, but for now,
Yeah.
We're suited up. We're on Wall Street. We're in Lower Manhattan. We're making deals.
Oh,
So Cowboy Kev he's back. He's rustling cattle. He's got to run some cattle from Kansas City up to Chicago.
Yeah, got to get them on that
cattle.
cattle. Get them on the cattle train. Get them up.
Sure.
Sure. That's how we've been making a living down on the range for 7 generations.
yeah. Wow. That's cool, man.
Thank you.
That's really great.
This is
professional,
Kev.
Yeah.
And how's you guys' week? What's new?
You're a little bit country, you're a little bit rock and roll, or a little bit professional.
A little bit Wall Street, a little bit coked up Wall Street guy. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Week's been great, man. What can I say? Just living, 2020's over, so all the bad stuff is gone. And this new hell world is just a new hell world.
Yeah. Nothing new to report from me, other than my Atlanta Braves are pooping their diapers pretty big time right now, as we all know. Full diaper for the Braves right now, which is not good.
And before we get into that and like the fun stuff, and I do also want to talk about Mel Kiper's mashed potato
pizza pit.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I drove down to Baltimore over the weekend. Went to Philly, got a cheesesteak, and I went down to Baltimore and got a Mel Kiper's pizza pit, mashed potato pizza. And
before we get into that real quick, like reminded me a little bit. I just want to give a quick shout out to anyone listening or watching us out in Atlanta. Tornadoes have been pretty shitty or crappy down there. So everyone, like, stay safe if you're out there. If you're watching us right now, that's good. You got power. You're doing great, but we're thinking about you.
Stay alive.
Stay alive,
folks. But yeah, so Kev, did Mel Kiper's loaded pizza, mashed potato pizza, that'll fill a diaper, I bet.
Yeah, so I went with the Cajun style mashed potato pizza from his mashed potato pizza pit. And it was spicy and it was good going down and it was bad coming out.
So like Chili Davis.
Yeah.
It's chili.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Mel Kiper Jr., not senior, but Mel Kiper Jr. I want to make a distinction.
This ain't your papa's Mel Kiper.
This ain't your papa's Mel Kiper. He's famous for not only being brilliant and getting everything in the draft correct, but he has some eating habits that are a little bit, some people would call strange. I don't know if
some might go so far as to say disgusting.
Some would say disgusting.
Some might say that. But when you look at him, he's a picture of health. So draw your own conclusions.
Yeah. Is he bald? I don't think so. He's got luscious, beautiful hair. And he's been doing this draft for 30 years. But yeah, one of his eating habits is that when he gets pizza, he likes to be healthy. He likes to remove that greasy, disgusting cheese that gets put on top of pizza.
Get that out of here.
Get it out of here.
And
then he brings in a bowl of piping hot mashed potatoes and just slops it on top of the pizza. And that's how he eats his pizza. And I'm not making this up. This is a real thing.
No. And I can't think of a better combo than bread, mushy potatoes, and tomato sauce.
It's
a little pepperoni good on top.
It's a marriage of, arguably two of the greatest culinary cultures in the world, the Irish / just the British Isles and Italian food. Why not get them going together in there,
Pizza and mash, come on.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It's nice to see those cultures finally get along after a lot of strife for a century and a half or so.
For sure.
Mel's pie, Mel's pie, not shepherd's pie, but Mel's pie, draft expert pie.
Yeah. Do you guys know anything about Mel Kiper Sr.?
No.
Just that he's Mel's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because I feel like there are a lot of like NFL players now who they kind of do the opposite. Like I know former Georgia Bulldog and Carolina Panthers linebacker put Thomas Davis Sr.
Mm-hmm.
on his jersey because he had a kid and named him Thomas Davis, which is fine, but like we don't need to, it doesn't really matter for your name on the back of your jersey. Like we don't need to, it'd be one thing if his son was on the team.
Right.
Anyway, that just made me think of that.
I get the juniors because there's a lot of younger players now, like you were saying, whose dads were in the NFL. So I get that.
Right.
Well, I'm just on Mel's wiki, and apparently Kuiper's been married since 1989 to Kim, who assists him in running Mel Kiper Enterprises from their Baltimore home.
That's beautiful.
I'm guessing there's a lot of things to do at Mel Kiper Enterprises.
She has to make a pumpkin pie every night because Mel famously also likes to eat pumpkin pie for breakfast every day.
Yes. Also true.
So that's a big job, Kevin. Kim is knocking it out of the park with that pie, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I just I'm surprised he's not more a man of size.
Yeah. Personally, if I were going to have pie for breakfast every morning, I'd probably go with pecan. That's higher up on my pie list than pumpkin.
Same. I would maybe do an apple just to trick myself into thinking that I'm eating fruit at least for breakfast. Like forget the sugar and all the butter.
Yeah.
At least I got a little fruit or something like that.
I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I would prefer the pumpkin to the pecan.
But really, you're more of, I like pumpkin. I just don't know if I'd want it for breakfast every single day.
Well, to be clear, I eat pie maybe twice a year, three times a year, maybe.
Yeah,
it's basically Thanksgiving, Christmas, and that's about it.
That's prime pie season.
Yeah. So I'm not really. I wouldn't want to eat pie every day.
It is funny because the way he eats his pizza, that's technically a type of pie as well.
Pizza
so
pie.
Mel's just super into pie. He's a pie man.
He just loves pie, baby.
But do you guys? And again, we didn't talk about this before. Do you guys have any like weird food things like that? Like, we're sort of having a laugh. We're taking a piss out of Mel with his cheese mashed potatoes substitution. Do you guys have any kind of food thing that could be considered weird or not like traditional? It doesn't have to be like insanely freakish like that, but
man, I'm sure I do. Off the top of my head, I'll say that I love peanut butter. I could I will just take scoops of peanut butter straight out of the jar.
Yeah.
I almost like peanut butter more than ice cream at times. Ooh. Crazy. I know that's
I like them together.
I've had like peanut butter ice cream. But
but if you take it out of the jar and you put it in like a vanilla or a chocolate, the peanut butter like hardens a little bit but it doesn't get hard, obviously, but it like gets a little bit.
I like that.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I had a big old cookie from Levain's Cookies this weekend with peanut butter in it. You guys ever go there in Manhattan?
No.
I've had those cookies before. Yeah,
they're like giant. They're like brownie style cookies. But I think that's not the worst habit, Jimmy, to just eat peanut butter because it's protein.
Yeah, sure. And it's delicious. It's not it's not mashed potatoes on pizza.
Yeah,
I will say, and Jimmy and I have clashed on this before.
Sure.
I've given a little bit, but I think I'm in the minority. I used to I hated chunky peanut butter. I only liked the creamy stuff. Now I've softened a little bit on my stance, but I still prefer creamy.
I don't dislike creamy, but I will 100% of the time choose crunchy over creamy.
But I think that's correct because I think crunchy is probably better for you. It's probably actual. I mean, like it's not good for you, but there's more. Some of the creamy peanut butter you get, there's probably a lot of stuff in there has nothing to do with peanuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna be the centrist here. I like both.
Okay.
I don't need to choose.
Pick a side, bro.
I'll eat whatever's put in front of me.
Yeah, that's my general philosophy towards all food, pretty much.
Right.
But I am remembering one time when I was in college, I got introduced at a tailgate to Frito like a Frito scoop dipped into chicken salad. It sounds weird.
Sounds good.
But it's good. It's really good. Yeah, highly recommend that. I haven't had that in a long time, but after I tried it, I got it for myself more than once because I was like, damn, this is a good snack.
Yeah, I've been trying to think like all day of do I have like a weird thing? I'm sure I do, but it's also hard to say because with my little 420 habit, anything is good, and I've combined all kinds of stuff. But Mel doesn't seem to be into that kind of stuff. He's like a real straight shooter, and
no, if he's got any kind of addiction or substance abuse habits, it's more on the upper side than the downer side, I think, with Mel, because it seems like he's about to like rattle off his chair at any moment.
I mean, kudos to him. He's built a 30-year career analyzing young boys and their physical traits and how they can translate into, as they grow up into men.
He's great at studying those young boys. You got to give him credit.
All that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just love to watch Mel watch young boys.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done it well enough that he's made careers for other people to then go home and watch young boys. And some even watch younger boys that are still not even in college and have careers watching super young boys on tape.
Oh, yeah.
And measure them and check out their immeasurables and all that.
The hell was that?
It's the baby cry sound effect.
Mel's obviously way too early baby top 100.
Yeah.
There's a 2-year-old down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who I'm projecting as the #1 overall pick in 2042.
Listen, let me tell you something. He could roll over when he was like 2 weeks old, okay? He could roll over.
Yeah, he's got that nice mid-Atlantic Baltimore, Dan Dick in a dirt accent. He's got a little taste of it. I was just in Philly, speaking of food, this weekend, and I got a Philly cheesesteak.
Speaking of Dick in the dirt accents.
Oh, yeah, went down to Ishkabibbles.
Oh, that's a good place.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Ishkabibbles. You guys been to Ishkabibbles?
I have been. I went to Ishkabibbles once about 8 years ago, so it's been a while.
I think you were down there with some of the same people I was just down there with. Went to Ishkabibbles late.
You got a little steak and some whiz. You got whiz on it? Whiz or cheddar? Because it's or prov. It's got to be whiz.
I got whiz with onions, and I got a gremlin juice.
What the hell's that?
It's a mixture of lemonade and grape juice. It's good. It's good. It's just real sugary,
Also, gremlin juice. That's just.
I mean,
makes me think of something else.
When I saw the name, I was like, I don't know what that is, but I need to have it. Something that weird.
It makes you think of the juice that came out of Spike from Gremlins 2 when he saw the girl gremlin.
Oh yeah, we all remember that.
She had blonde hair, man.
And big lips. That gremlin, yeah. And she wore high heels.
I watched Gremlins 2 a lot when I was a kid, though. I loved it. It was like the perfect amount of not actually scary, kind of scary, but mostly just hilarious.
It was way less scary than the first.
Yeah, exactly. Classic film.
But yeah, I mean, we're talking about Mel. The draft happened, guys.
Oh,
yeah. We're all going to war. No, I'm kidding. NFL draft.
NFL draft. I defer to you guys on this. Do you guys have any overarching takes to share? Because I don't really know what the hell happened.
Well, my take is no one knows what's going to happen because we don't. We can't see into the future. And so whatever. But, you know, our Falcons took Kyle Pitts at number 4, which was the safe bet, I guess. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, I think, Falcons fans, when the season ended and there was a new coaching staff and GM coming in, they really wanted to just slam the reset button, which I was one of those people. But realistically, I can understand why they decided they're going to stick with Matt for at least a couple more years because, he's still got some tread on the tire. So we'll see. I mean, Kyle Pitts he's supposed to be, a Hall of Fame. I mean, I watched him play a lot at Florida.
He's incredible.
Really good.
Yeah.
He's really, really good. So, I mean, you can't be mad at that pick, really, but you just hope that it's not a situation where they're still not great for the next few years. And then he ends up going somewhere else anyway. And it didn't net them anything. But.
Yeah. The more I thought about it, it's like with Matt Ryan, it's like, you might as well go for it, I guess. Because the Saints are rebuilding, they drafted Kevin's best friend, Ian Book.
That's right.
So, their Drew Brees is gone. So you got to think the Saints are going to hopefully take a step back.
Yeah.
Their defense is still pretty good. And they have a bunch of other guys around. Alvin Kamara is still there and Sean Payton, all that. The Panthers also in a weird position. They got Sam Darnold now.
Yeah.
But is he really that good? Whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to think you can challenge them. And then you got Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The defending Super Bowl champs.
Yep.
I was going to say you have to think Tom Brady's eventually going to get old, but I don't think that's going to happen.
He might just live forever. He could be immortal.
Live forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you guys see Tom Brady at the Kentucky Derby or whatever this weekend?
Yeah.
He looked like the villain from Roger Rabbit, the guy that wants to kill all the tunes at Toontown.
Yeah.
That's someone else's joke. It's not mine. I forget who it was on Twitter, but
it's amazing. We've really been living through a golden age for terrible haircuts. And I feel like now we're entering a golden age for terrible hats.
Yeah.
Where all sorts of people, men and women, wear these weird wide brimmed zoot suit or Indiana Jones type hats. And that, so he looked like he was going to murder Toontown.
Now, as far as the
not cowboy hats like Cowboy Kev's hat. That's a beautiful.
No, that's a classic American classic.
That's a beautiful. Now you look like a football announcer from the 70s.
Hey, that's going to be first down for the Dallas Cowboys.
Look at them cheerleaders over there.
If you're listening and you're not seeing, friend, you're missing out.
Oh yeah.
But
on this live stream,
Jimmy, you talk about terrible haircuts. Are you thinking the Richard Spencer style haircut that came?
Yeah, that's that one. That one I really don't like. I see a lot of men opting for that, where it's it's completely shaved down, and then there's a weird little tuft right in the middle of their head. They look like the baby from Rugrats.
Yes. I think it's
not good.
Those seem to. I mean, I don't know. I'm out of touch, but it seemed like towards the end of me living in Brooklyn, where there's the cool people are.
Yes.
Those haircuts were sort of making their way out, but I don't know.
I think they've left Brooklyn and they've filtered their way out into Middle America now.
Yeah,
that's really unfortunate.
For a little bit longer.
Yes, yeah. I know that we both know of one guy specifically who had the because I think we called him Baby Phil or whatever, because he had it was literally just everything was shaved except for here.
And he had a large Irish American dome too, which does not pair well with that haircut at all.
And a pretty large Irish American frame to go with it. So it was lethal.
A bad combo.
Lethal.
There was a guy I did comedy with who got a similar haircut once, and we kept calling him the Proud Boy hair, and and he time we saw him, he had shaved his head basically, or cut his hair.
It's good.
And it was oh, you're a skinhead now, cool, and that backfired on him as well.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I give a little bit of a pass to foreigners, when Europeans or young Latino kids have that kind of hair a little bit. I'm all right, I don't know. I give passes. I feel racist.
I feel like
times with stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
if you're an American, we got to hold you to a different standard. But yeah, I agree.
And also, like, for a lot of guys, I think they do it because they're like trying to hide their balding a little bit, because you get everything like super tight. So it's like you can't really see where it's going out on its own.
I don't know, man. If I were a balding guy, I think I might just have to become a hat guy for a while. I don't know. Hard to figure out how to maneuver.
I don't know how, if I would just go straight bald or if I'd be the type of guy who embraces like the horseshoe.
Yeah.
You know, like just have it straight up empty up here and then the sides. Like Kevin from The Office.
Yeah. Mr. Burns.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be, just embrace it.
Well, luckily we're all covered in hair, so
yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Alpha style.
Thank God, because
we're like the three. We're the three people in New York, the 3 men in New York City who did improv who aren't balding or bald.
Yeah.
And not just in New York, that extends to any improv theater.
It's a worldwide trend.
World.
Yeah.
But
that's the draft.
That's the draft.
There we go.
We did it.
Comprehensive coverage as always.
No, speaking of the draft, I did want to bring this up. Number 1 overall pick, not this year's draft. I want to talk about the draft a few years ago. Because the stuff about this draft, you can go anywhere. You can listen to any of the shows on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and get comprehensive coverage, get the grades, get the breakdowns. I want to talk about the draft from a few years ago and one Mr. Baker Mayfield. Because this is the type of football stuff we like. So Baker Mayfield has definitely grown on me over time. And I think he's all right now because last week it came out and it's been confirmed by his wife and other people. Baker Mayfield saw a UFO while he was driving home out in Texas.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. And then as I dug in a little bit more, it turns out Baker Mayfield is actually, for lack of a better term, for all the old listeners, you'll know, he's basically an unbeliever.
Mm-hmm.
He would fit in so well with the Unbelievers podcast and the whole crew there, which we go back with, because he's also a Bigfoot / Sasquatch truther. And Jimmy, I know you are big on that train, so I'm glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up. I just want to clarify my own stance here. I've never encountered any Sasquatch. I don't claim to believe or not believe, but I do find the Sasquatch encounters that you can find all over the place online of people telling their stories about how they saw or encountered a Sasquatch out in the wild pretty damn entertaining. And I'm sure that's probably how Baker got into Sasquatch too. I remember hearing like a year or two ago that he wanted to, like, he was trying to organize some sort of like Sasquatch expedition out in like Oregon or Washington State or something. So I hope he made that happen. I would love to go on a Sasquatch expedition.
I would go on one with Baker way before I would go on one with Jose Canseco.
For sure.
It'd be safe.
I imagine, to me, a Sasquatch expedition seems like a great excuse to go out hiking in the beautiful mountains and, smoke weed and drink beers around a campfire at night and hope that you hear creepy sounds.
I've just, it's funny you guys bring this up because I just started watching the new Hulu series on Sasquatch. And it's surrounding a specific Sasquatch incident from, I believe, the early 90s over in Montecito County out there in Northern California, where the Squatch may or may not live. Apparently the Squatch allegedly might have killed 3 migrant workers in Northern California then. Now, granted, all these people who have the sightings and encounters are mostly cannabis farmers. I think there might be some sort of
correlation
there.
Sasquatch also happened to be wearing a red baseball cap with some white writing on it. And
this is pre all that, but
carrying an AR-15.
I just think these people they're growing some of the finest marijuana that the world has to offer, and they also happen to be the same people who are hearing things in the woods.
Kevin, I frankly am offended by what you're implying right now. How dare you? How dare you besmirch?
Well, guys, before we fight too much on air,
no,
the way we're going right now, I say compromise. Let's see who's right. Let's fly out. Let's go hang out with these farmers.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We'll have them show us everything they have and see how, what they're seeing, how they're seeing it, when they're seeing it, and then we can see for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down just for the trip to Northern California, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah. Beautiful country.
Beautiful
Sasquatch country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've never traveled to anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, so I'd love to find an excuse to go out there, maybe bring a bunch of big guns and pretend like you're a tough guy, walk around in the forest,
Yeah. We'll call Damian Lillard up and some of the Blazers, and they'll come with us.
Yeah, there you go.
It's beautiful country out there.
I'm dying to see a cryptid. I've never seen one, so I think I've seen a ghost, like for real. But
okay.
Where did that happen?
In my in the house I grew up in, so my mom is kind of spooky. She's had dreams and things that have seen things and predicted things that have come true. And we were in a room and we both reacted at the same time, and we both saw a shadow or something like run across, and there was like no activity outside, so it wasn't like a car or something like that, but we saw like an outline of like a little person, and we think it was a ghost.
Whoa,
that's cool.
Yeah I would love to see Sasquatch.
I would love to see Sasquatch too. And I will say, if you listen to some of these Sasquatch podcasts, most of the people calling in are clearly insane, but there are quite a few people who seem, like totally normal, and their stories sound like credible.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job of like writing and rehearsing their story, or they saw something.
No, that's I do think in my time covering paranormal stuff for the Unbelievable podcast, and then just watching stuff on my own, it does seem like it's like I don't know, a certain percentage, because there's a lot of crazies where within 5 minutes you're like, okay, you're insane.
Yeah.
But there's like, I don't know, 10% where it's like that I really am buying what you're selling. Like or I shouldn't say selling. Like, I totally believe what you're telling me.
Yeah. And like, maybe they didn't see Sasquatch, or who knows what they saw, but they truly believe that they saw something.
And to be fair, also that part of the country, it's gigantic. So it's possible there's a Squatch or a bunch of Squatches running around.
It's also funny that we think they're crazy, but we don't think this is crazy. We take that guy seriously.
Which guy?
Wait. Oh, never mind.
We didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's okay.
But we did hear this.
Duh. Winning.
There you go.
That's the Sasquatch saying, being proud that no one's ever found him.
If Sasquatch had one thing to say, I think he'd come running down the hill saying this.
And I would ask,
you know what, George Vito?
I'm talking about that crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, Baker Mayfield, if you're watching this, if you're which I'm sure you are, hit us up. We'll definitely go on a Sasquatch expedition with you. Not hunting, because I don't want to hurt Sasquatch. I just want to see him.
No, because from what I learned from the documentary I watched last night, Sasquatches, they're not here to hurt you.
Nah.
Or are they?
Wow, okay.
Oh, okay.
Bring
Interesting twist.
Baker, bring us along. We're journalists. We'll document the entire thing.
Yeah. We'll be out there with you as long as it takes.
Night after night after night after night.
If that's what it takes. But yeah, so that was the draft coverage. We did it. We covered it all. Congratulations to all the men who got drafted, all the young men. You did it. You're going to live your dreams, except some of you who are already being accused of sexual assault and potentially going to jail.
Sure.
You know,
already?
Best of us.
That's happening already to somebody?
Yeah, it's happening to, like, I think a Dallas Cowboy, like, 4th rounder. But
Damn.
too bad for,
Hey, what are you gonna do?
you know. But
while we're on the paranormal, I do we saw last week, I just dip our toe into baseball. Dansby Swanson of the Braves, after a really bad day of baseball where they got one hit in a doubleheader. He brought out some sage and he saged the baseball field and the clubhouse, the locker room, the bats, and it seemed to work. And then it didn't work for long. But
trying to beat Kyrie Irving, huh?
Did Kyrie Irving do that?
Oh, he sages the court before every game.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm about to say I'm with it.
Speaking of someone who believes in aliens, Kyrie.
Yeah,
that's another one. Kyrie, join the expedition with Baker and us. We'll all go together.
Yeah.
I mean, but what do you guys think? Do you buy into the sage thing, or you think that's a bunch of baloney?
I don't have a stance on the sage, but I say, why not try it? I'm open to anything,
That's how I feel.
It's not for me, but if other people want to do it, hey.
Yeah.
I actually do occasionally. I do use it.
I'll sage a room to not bother my neighbors after I'm hanging out.
Sure.
But
Sure.
After you're shooting basketball.
Yeah. And then I'll sage the room and I'll say,
that's basketball.
Get all that basketball smell out of the room. Yeah.
Yeah. And if they complain,
you know what Jordan would do?
That's my response.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they love me. They love me for it. But yeah, I wish the sage would work better because like Jimmy was saying earlier, the Braves are a big diaper that's full of poo-poo.
Yeah.
Big poo-poo filled diaper. Yeah, they had it seemed like they turned it around after that Sage game because then they won 3 out of 4 with the Cubs. Waskari Noah hit a dinger as a pitcher.
That guy is a hell of a player.
He's legit.
Yeah, but then they got swept by the Blue Jays and they look like big time doo-doo again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they're not the only ones.
No.
Sorry, Jimmy, I interrupted you.
No, I was just gonna say, the pitching really sucks right now. I think they have the worst ERA in Major League Baseball as a staff. So, not what you want, but the NL East is in general is sucking quite hard. So they're okay right now. So
I was gonna say, Francisco Lindor. He is sucking hard for the Mets so much that the fans are booing him.
More like Francisco Lindor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, he's sucking pretty hard.
I know it's I actually watched the Sunday Night Baseball game last night between Mets and Phillies, which was a crazy back and forth game. But man, Lindor, he got a couple of walks, but he had some big spots. He came up with the bases loaded. I think he walked once and then flew out another time with bases loaded. But I like old Frankie Lindor, but
sure,
it's not looking good right now. He's a slow start.
Yeah, the Mets are having lots of issues. They lost another DeGrom 1-0 start last week, which is just insane. That guy has to be so frustrated with that team, man.
I know. I don't know how. I mean,
how have the Yankees not snatched him up? You know what I mean? How have they not thrown all the money in the world at that guy?
He does, and he doesn't seem like a guy like for someone is like he's the best pitcher in baseball, and he consistently can't get any run support. He doesn't show his frustration a lot. So, but I'm sure he's got to be fuming sometimes.
Earlier this year, he was like leading the team in RBIs or something for a minute, and like also, he had just as many RBIs as runs given up or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I think I know it's happened a few times in his career where he's just won a game himself, where he's shut the other team out and then knocked in a run or two and just won the game. That's just crazy, man.
It's insane. I mean, because the Mets got off to a hot start, but now they're kind of starting to slide.
But isn't that every year? I mean, every year, like a few years ago, they were like 11-0, and I remember everyone at the job I was working at in the city was like, "Oh, the Mets, bro!
Yeah,
buzz off with your Braves," and then that quickly evaporates.
Yeah,
yeah, and then they got a pretty cheap win on Sunday Night Baseball where
the base path thing.
Well, last night,
that was stupid too.
There were a bunch of dumb calls.
Yeah, umps are sucking worse than the NL East and the Yankees and like all these other teams that we thought would be good.
Yeah, I agree. And they had that because Rhys Hopkins hit a game-tying 3-run home run in the bottom of the ninth, and they replayed it, and they're like, "Oh, it didn't hit the seats. It hit the top of this. It was like a 20-foot high wall with a little railing on the top, and it dinged off the top of the railing." And we were talking before we started recording. Since when was that not a home run? Like usually stadiums will paint a yellow line near the top of the wall, and they don't do that in Philly for some reason.
Yeah.
People thought it was Cheese Whiz and they all licked it off.
They licked it off. But yeah, it was a bad look on baseball, and the Mets got kind of a cheap win. And I mean, that would have tied it up. So who knows? But it's like, why did you stop the game to like home runs are so exciting. That would have been so exciting to have them tied up bottom of the ninth, going to extra innings. But instead it was like, no, sorry, that's not a home run. You guys actually lose by 1 run. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a weird series because they had the bench clearing incidents too on Friday night. I believe it was Jose Alvarado struck out Dom Smith, and they started exchanging words. And then I think after the game, there was talk about meeting in the tunnel to sort things out, which to me, that's actually entertaining. I do like when teams hate each other and there's like a blood rivalry. So hopefully more of that stuff happens this year, but
there's a lot of fighting going on, which is kind of fun, I guess. It's more fun than all the strikeouts that are happening because that's all it is. Because baseball is now analytics age, so it's forget stealing, forget moving runners over. It's you swing for the fences. It's like basketball. You just go for the big shots.
Yeah,
for the threes, you go for the home, you go for the dingers, which means you're going to strike out, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, and the irony is that actually makes the games even longer too.
I know.
They're like, I don't know if it's working out so well for baseball, where it's like we all love dingers, but strikeouts suck to watch, and they add length to these already like too long games. So baseball MLB really doesn't know how to like fix their product or market it, or it's just kind of a disaster.
Yeah, because they have a real opportunity right now because there's so many fun, young, exciting players that they're trying to embrace on one hand, but also doing dumb shit on the other hand, like taking back a 3-run home run. But one other baseball thing I did want to touch on is we got to do an A-Rod J-Lo relationship update.
Oh yeah.
So A-Rod, one of the strangest human beings on planet Earth, is having relationship troubles with J-Lo. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but apparently J-Lo was spotted out with one Benjamin Affleck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
Geely
A-Rod,
co-star.
Yeah.
I think A-Rod's still trying to win her back in between his Sunday Night Baseball amazing commentary spots. So I don't know. What are we thinking? What are we thinking about their chances, fellas?
Well, I mean, first of all, it says a lot about J-Lo's just the power that she must possess. You know,
I mean,
these
brother,
these men who could, like, you know, let's be honest, these guys could have any woman they want, really. And they're still they're enraptured by J-Lo. They must have the J-Lo. They need J-Lo.
Come on, man. We all need the J-Lo.
Yeah. So that alone is is you know, bravo, J-Lo. You're an American treasure. We're thankful for you. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hell of a storyline. I hope they fight, I guess, is my short answer.
Affleck and A-Rod?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not J-Lo. No, yeah. I mean, A-Rod's vaccinated now.
Yeah, I saw that. He posted that Instagram photo where he was flexing super hard to show that he got the shot.
Was that a subtle, like, hey, Jennifer, hey, Jenny from the block?
It 100% was. That guy is very transparent. He's a very basic dude, I think. As strange as he is, he's very basic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he is like cartoonishly vain too, because I remember 10 years ago or so, there was some article about him in like ESPN the magazine, and in the photo spread there's a picture of him kissing a mirror, like he was kissing himself. So
yeah, it sounds like he's a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think, Diego? Who are you pulling for here?
Who am I pulling for?
Yeah, Ben, A-Rod.
I'm pulling, if I'm being honest, it's not going to happen. But if I'm being honest, who I really want to end up with J-Lo is Jose Canseco.
Exactly, 100%. Jose Canseco is going to come in out of nowhere, and we're going to have a storybook relationship.
He's going to take her down to the Showtime car wash.
Yeah. It's going to be like a WWE match where you've got A-Rod versus Ben in the ring, thinking it's those two are battling out. Then all of a sudden, halfway through the match, the music hits, and Jose comes out and elbow drops both of them, and he gets to take J-Lo to the car wash.
Yeah,
and
he's like, "Hey, J-Lo, let's bash," and she's like, "Okay."
Yeah,
I'm with you. I want a Jose coming out of nowhere.
Jose and his twin brother come out as a tag team for the distraction, and then Jose gets which one's Jose?
Yeah.
But really, I want J-Lo to just be happy and to find true love once and for all, because she's had a hard time. She's been through a lot of men.
She has. But you know what? She's been stacking the cash for years now, so she's good. She doesn't need a man.
No, she doesn't. She's Jenny from the block, man.
Yeah,
she's freaking
real.
Selena, bro.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So that's your baseball coverage. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I did want to bring up real quick that Amir Garrett Rizzo fight, because I've never seen a pitcher be the one who starts the fight and taunts for the bench clearing brawl, because the Reds were playing the Cubs, and I guess Amir Garrett and Javi Baez have history, but he was throwing, he called them out and they went at it.
Damn, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it got very spicy.
So he struck out Rizzo, and Rizzo just like walked off. He didn't say anything, and Amir Garrett started just like yelling at him, you know. And then Javi Baez was the first guy to run out because they have history. And but I've never seen a pitcher just like that. And it was like the first out of the inning, and the Reds were losing. So it was clearly very personal. It had nothing to do with the game. It was just very personal.
I know it probably wasn't baseball related, their beef, but I will say for Amir Garrett and the Reds, they are they're low key starting out the season as a hot tamale. The Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The Reds are playing really well. The Royals are playing really well. I think the Giants might have the best record in the National League.
The Mariners got off to a decent start, and they were like just completely trash rebuilding the whole thing.
Yeah, the Red Sox are leading the AL East, and they were picked to not do anything.
Not make the playoffs. Yeah.
So, and the A's started terrible and have been killing it. It
goes really to show we need to listen to all the experts.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's everyone, all the minds I listen to keep saying you can't really pay attention to the standings until like Memorial Day or All-Star break or something like that. But I don't know.
The big minds I listen to just talk about this.
Jockage. Well, that's important.
Yeah.
You want to avoid it if you can.
It'll affect you.
I also just remembered briefly, I was watching the Braves broadcast on Saturday night, and Tom Glavine and Chip Carey spent about 15, 20 minutes sort of just complaining about like bat flipping and how much players show off now. And it was very annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you guys are like, you're presenting the product here, so don't complain about it. Like that's actually one of the things baseball has going for it right now is the flamboyant young guys who make it more entertaining. So don't complain about that, you old farts.
I totally agree. And I'll always respect Tom Glavine as former, union leader, Irish American Hall of Fame. Member of the Braves' best pitching rotation of all time. But I mean, the dude he's pretty boorish, and he's pretty like, I don't really think like his mindset and his takes are relevant to today's game. And I'm with you.
Yeah, it sucks. And to tie it in with a story that I guess I forgot to talk about a few weeks ago, like the NFL's doing the same. They're really zeroing in this upcoming season on taunting, as they call it. And they don't want any more of those like the way Tyreek Hill, when he scores, will throw up like the deuces. They all that's going to be penalties. And it sucks. It makes especially in football, a game where your whole thing is like, hey, just go murder each other. Like literally just go ram your heads into each other, and we don't care. And we don't care what happens off the field with you guys. And we don't care all the bad stuff you do. You can't even have fun doing it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Why are you ruining sports, everyone?
Yeah. And it's like, look, man, Tyreek Hill does that peace sign. And then in the Super Bowl, when that dude intercepted the pass, he went right up to him and was like, peace, bitch. Yeah. And that was awesome. Even though I was going for the Chiefs.
Right.
That was still, it was great. Like, that's fun to watch. It's fun to see somebody like get it back, after they got taunted.
It's funny, like all the people, like baseball guys, like all the old athletes and analysts are always like, oh, I miss the good old days, like the way it used to be, the way we played it right and we played hard. And it was like, there was a ton of taunting back then. So why is that not part of the equation?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's so glaringly obvious with guys like Glavine, and it's like, you can complain about the bat flipping and the showboating. But like, that's why baseball's like ratings are currently going up when they've been going down for a long time.
Yeah.
Because like people want to watch Fernando Tatis. They want to watch Ronnie Acuna. They want to watch, I don't know, name any of those players who like make it look fun.
I'll always remember Chad Ochocinco, but TJ Hushmanzada, I'm going to struggle remembering.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. You want fun. It's entertainment.
This is a game. Sports are a freaking game, guys. This is supposed to be fun.
Exactly.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
And as much as I
can get in on it too.
Yeah, they can, and a lot of them have. And it works. It's like
the Dodgers reliever that guy makes a meal out of every strike he throws. I'm blanking on his name, but he would like throw his glove and like do the whole like thing to the sky.
Is it Urias?
No, it's not Urias. It's like one of their relievers. It's like a little chubby Mexican guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it's like, yeah, that guy doesn't get crapped on the way Tatis does, or Ozuna or any of those guys when they go nuts. So it's like double standard. No, just let everyone do it. Let everyone have fun.
Yeah. And also, just one more thing, a bat flip or like even Ozuna's selfie aren't necessarily a taunt either.
No,
it's like rallying. They're just like they're having fun. And
if he was doing it at the opposing dugout, that's taunting. But when it's like we're having fun with our own team, like whatever.
Exactly.
Like every team has their thing. Like it used to be like this thing that the Rangers would do. That's what I wanted to bring up. Mix it up, and
because the Braves had to mix it up. And what was the Rangers one you just said? They
used to do like this thing, I think, or like it was like antlers
or like
something.
some of them will like tap their helmet. But I just saw last night, and they kept replaying it on Sunday Night Baseball. And forgive me if you're listening, I will explain the motion I'm about to do. But Pete Alonso got a pretty clutch double, and he went like this.
Oh yeah,
to his dugout.
Yeah.
So we sniffed.
He did a sniffing motion of his two fingers.
He fingered someone.
Yes. That was the implication. But I think whoever the producer was for ESPN either didn't realize what he was doing or didn't care. And they kept replaying it in slow motion. And it was like really like off-putting, especially with that guy.
Yeah,
like
Mayor Pete.
Mayor Pete, I don't want to think about him.
Yeah.
And he's just like
I don't want to think about him and his boyfriend doing whatever they can do whatever they want. It's totally fine with me.
Exactly.
It's great. It's beautiful. He's found love, but like I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
It's respectful.
It doesn't really gel with his wholesome American troop cop image that he's.
Well, it gave me the distinct vibe that he's a
or
guy
does it
who,
gel
like,
too much with his cop vibe?
I think it made me like I got the distinct vibe that he's probably a guy who goes in the locker room. It's like, I got so much freaking tail last night, fellas.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like lying. Like that's
the vibe
I get.
Yeah.
I could also see like Lindor, one of those guys, be like, "Hey Pete, when you get a hit tonight, do this." And then they're all laughing.
yeah. That's absolutely. And he's like, "What does that mean?" And they're like,
"Oh, it's cool in the Dominican, man. It's
Puerto
like
Rico,
a team thing."
In Puerto Rico, that means you're smelling the sauce you just made, and it's tasty.
Yeah, or whatever. I could see like his teammates like messing with him.
I could absolutely see that, but yeah, it was kind of jarring because it was like, especially I don't know. Wanted to mention it because I hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I hope the whole team. I hope Mr. Met does it. Then it's okay.
But he does it as like an interpretive thing with Mrs. Met, and we get to see the full.
Yeah.
And she's standing there like,
yeah. The Mets they're sex positive, and that's what we like about them.
Exactly.
Of course.
But I did want to talk about two quick things before we get out of here, if we have time.
Yeah, we can go a little bit over, I think, just a couple minutes.
Okay. First of all, did you guys see the article I sent you about, or no, Diego, I think maybe you sent it about, there's a 2010 video that was made by the New York Knicks to try to entice LeBron James to New York, featuring a bunch of New York celebrities, including James Gandolfini and Edie Falco as the Sopranos.
That's great.
And apparently this is the definition of an NFT, because no one knows where the video is. Someone has the video, but it's Tony and Carmela in character doing like a little skit to try and get LeBron to New York.
Yeah.
My question, who do you think's got their hands on that tape? Do you think James Dolan's got it? Who's got it?
It's definitely not James Dolan. I think he's a dumbass. He doesn't know what's going on. It's probably like the video guy who put it together, the editor who put it together, who worked for like MSG Network or whatever.
In the article, the guy who put it together was like, I don't know where it is.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah. He's
well,
like,
then never mind. I don't know.
Somebody's got it though. He's like, I know someone has it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. But if I had it, I would try to find a way to profit off of it. I won't lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd sell it to like a super rich person.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, we're gonna run a little bit long here potentially, but real quick, what TV characters would sway you into going to their team? Like, who would it be? Would it be the Sopranos?
For me, it would, like, if I was LeBron in that situation, I would have been like, sorry, Miami Heat, because this is when he went to the Heat. I would be like, I'm sorry, I'm going to New York, going to the Knicks. I'm sold.
Yeah. That's pretty powerful. That's a great question. Who would sway me? I don't know. Gandolfini is definitely up there. He's like one of my favorite actors. And everything I've ever read and heard about that guy, I'm just a huge fan.
Seems like a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So
apparently in the vid, he had a beard, and the director was like, how do we explain this? Because he had it for a role. And so they were like, oh, come on, we're in witness protection over here. And we got to find the apartment for LeBron in New York.
Yeah, it would take Homer and Marge Simpson for me to go play for the Springfield Isotopes, but I would do it.
I mean, there's a lot of characters most characters would convince me. If you had Vinny Chase telling me to come play for the Lakers, I'd be like, yes, let's do it. If you had Peter Griffin be like, come play for the Quahog Red Sox, I'd probably go there.
Frazier Crane, come play for the Seattle Supersonics. I mean,
it'd be, I'm listening. Kevin, come play for the Mariners. Pretty much anyone, any TV character would get me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said you had one more thing.
Oh, the other thing, I wanted your take on the class rage, because I watched Man City beat PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, but then I just saw that the Manchester United fans had a riot and took over Old Trafford Stadium because they're pissed off at the American owners of their club.
Yeah, the Glazer family. They've always hated them. They've hated them from the moment they bought them, because the Glazers have never even shown up in person, I don't think. And the whole Super League thing has ruffled all those feelings brought them back up to the surface. And so they're trying to use it now to be like, get rid of these guys, get rid of this dumb family. We don't like you. Like Arsenal did the same thing, just not as bad. But yeah, the Man United fans basically rioted enough that they canceled that game. They're playing Liverpool, which is it was the game of the weekend in the Premier League, Liverpool, Man United. And it ended up being canceled because of the fans.
Well, from what I've read about it, I'm 100% on the side of the fans here. Because if they're like the biggest football club in the world, and this family seems to just be not trying to make them win. So it's
just an investment for them. And again, they wanted the Super League so they could raise the money and then sell it and get out with all the billions of dollars. That's all they're doing. That's all the Glazers want. They don't care about the team.
Well, I guess all I have to say is the Glazers, you're the pigs of the week.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. Look, I like to think most billionaires are benevolent, but some of them are bad apples.
They are, but I'm super
no boogers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the button there. I just wanted to say, why is that on the soundboard? The guy saying, "Oh boogers." Why would I ever want that? No, I wanted to say, speaking of billionaires, I saw some of the sketch ideas that Elon Musk was throwing out on a Twitter for his upcoming SNL debut. Yeah. I cannot wait. Baby Shark Tank. Are you kidding me? That sounds
so
epic.
Good.
That's really smart.
Left Shark is going to show up too. Left Shark and Right Shark are also going to be involved probably. And we're going to need a bigger boat.
Hello. Can you calling the Epic Police?
Oh,
arrest Mr. Musk for being epic.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger boat, buddy.
I know we're out of time. Basically, I just want to throw one thing out real quick. Just saw devastating news. Another billionaire Bill Gates is getting divorced from his wife, Melinda Gates.
Oh,
pretty devastating stuff. So prayers up for Bill. Hopefully.
That's too bad,
Yeah.
I'm so sad for Bill and Melinda. They've done so much good. And all I have to say to them is
My God almighty!
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for him. He didn't want to share the patent to the he stopped the patent from the vaccine going globally, and
exactly.
it definitely wouldn't have helped India or any of the countries that are like hellscapes right now. But hey, he gave us Windows, so thank you.
Get ready, single ladies of Chicago, because there's going to be a wide lapelled gentleman on the scene.
Yeah. He's gonna be open for business.
Night after night after night after night.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna want to slurp that down.
I love you, Johnny Cakes.
But yeah, I think with that high note, and giving all this like positive energy out there for all the singles, it's gonna do it for another classic episode of the Sports Lords.
Hey, you're welcome, America.
Yeah, comprehensive coverage of the draft, Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the upcoming playoffs there, hockey and their playoffs,
Sure.
So we
and
did it all.
The single ladies. Look out, Seattle. Look out, Seattle. I'm listening.
But yeah, make sure you check us out again next Monday. Check us out anytime. Look for our old shows anywhere you get your podcasts and radio, and check out the rest of the shows on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, because I got a lot of content and a lot of good stuff out there. So with that, we'll see you guys all next week, and have a safe week, everyone. Stay alive.
Bye, everyone.
Yeehaw!
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stock, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC, annuity and insurance products.